using these two yarns so that you can see the contrast between the two. So I'm going to make this sock be the inside sock, I think. So we're going to do this the easy way. We're going to start from the cuff. If this works and I get through the whole thing, then I can come back around and do one from the toe. But for now, let's do this. So if you've ever done a 2-color cast on before, it's very similar to that, and it's real fiddly and annoying, but we're going to do it. So outside sock is the first one. I'm also going to make, these are going to be mini socks, because I don't need another pair of socks out of these yarns. So we're going to 1 stitch, and now I'm going to get the other yarn. Now, if you were doing this as a pair, you would do them out of the same yarn. It is a little bit more difficult to differentiate, but it's the same thing. So now we're going to cast on one. Every other stitch should be every other sock. Or every other stitch should be the other sock. So, am I even remotely in frame? No. Okay. So we have 1 pink, 1 white. So we're going to do a pink. We're going to put that aside. Specifically, we're going to put it to the front because it's the front sock. I'm going to say things like front and back and inside and outside, but for now, since we're working flat, I'm going to say front and back. So the front sock is the self-striping, and the backside sock is the white with speckles. And we're going to cast on a stitch with this yarn. And we're going to go back to the front and do a stitch. And we're going to go to the back, and we're making sure that we're not tangling. Make a stitch. And you can do any cast on for this, really. I'm doing long tail because that's what I would do normally. Actually, normally I would do Norwegian long tail, which is easy enough to substitute in. You just, but we're not doing that for now. And you just do this forever. And the other thing to keep in mind when you're doing 2 at a time socks is, so what you're going to do, sorry, my ADHD is like all over the place. So see how we're getting the 2 completely separate, but both cast on lines? That's what we want. We want to keep them. We don't want to get them tangled at all. And that's going to be really, everything about this is going to be maintaining, not tangling the 2 yarns together. So see, I'm grabbing my back yarn to hold it out of the way. And I'm grabbing my front yarn to hold it out of the way. So that's just what I'm doing to keep it from getting tangled, because that helps me. The other thing is, because each stitch has another, oh, don't do that, focus. Thank you. Because each stitch has another stitch in between, your gauge is probably going to be quite a bit looser doing 2 at a time socks than it would be doing regular socks. So once you get the hang of it, you might want to go down a needle size to tighten up your gauge. I have actually gone up a needle size for this. Normally I would do this on, like, I'm a psychopath, so I knit my socks on 0s, 2mm needles. I would probably go down to a 00, which is a 1.75mm, or even a 000 1.5mm. But I like a dense sock fabric, and I, like I said, psychopath. Anyway, for the purposes of this video, I am actually using a 1.5 size 2.5 millimeter needle, because I was hoping it would show what I was doing better. So this isn't actually taking quite as long as I thought, but it is annoying to have to keep dropping the other color. The other thing you can do is if you're worried about this part is, and I'm going to be giving you tips along the way to like check to make sure that things are going well. See how the two yarns are very clearly not tangled together? That's a good thing. The other thing is, you could do is if you cast on however many stitches you want to cast on, and then on a needle, and then cast on the second sock on a different needle, and then take a third needle. Everything's fiddly in a different way. Take a third needle and then grab one, grab one, grab one, grab one. And either or it all the way up. But is that less annoying than this? Probably not. This isn't too bad. Yeah, I guess if you were doing like a fancier cast on, it might be more annoying, but for basic old long tail. How many stitches do I even have? Okay. We got all our stitches. We have 32 pink stitches and 32 white stitches. And again, look at the bottom. Focus. 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 2 perfectly even lines of separate colors. There is nowhere here, and you're going to want to do this throughout the process. You could, it's like pulling them apart. You can see each cast on line is its own line. We are not tangled. We're not starting off on the wrong foot. So far, we've done step 1. Okay. Now, I'm a magic looper, so we're going to magic loop this. You can do it on double points. Okay. Sorry, I bumped into you. Okay, so now we need to not lose our minds. Okay. This is tail and working yarn and tail and working yarn. Okay, so those are our 2 working yarns. Get out of the way. Okay, now we're getting into the most annoying part about, or fiddly about this whole process, how you hold your yarn. If you've knit stranded knitting before, I recommend holding your yarn the way you hold, bouncing, hold your stranded knitting. So I hold my front yarn around my thumb, and I hold my back yarn around my index finger. And in the case of this, my front yarn is my outside sock, and my back yarn is my inside sock. Both of my yarns, focus. Both of my yarns are pulled down and forward, but still the outside sock yarn is on the outside. So now we're going to do knit 1, purl 1, rib. And we're going to start with the knit 1. So you're doing the front sock, knit 1. Normal. And then you're going to pull the front yarn to the front so it's out of the way, and you're going to knit one on the inside sock. So the inside sock yarn is inside and the outside sock yarn is outside, and you're going to just try and maintain that. So now that was knit one. Now you got to purl one. So the rhythm is actually knit 2, purl 2 when you're doing knit 1, rib, purl 1, rib. So purl 1 with the front, and then we're going to bring the back yarn forward because we're purling one on the inside sock. And we're going to do that all again. So both yarns back, knit 1 outside, pull the yarn forward, knit 1 inside. We can stay here, purl 1 outside, bring the yarn forward, purl 1 inside. And see, if we just look at the pink stitches, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. So we're just going to keep doing this for the whole way around. So knit 1, knit 1, purl 1, purl 1, knit, knit, purl, purl. It's the same kind of rhythm if you're doing grafting. So knit, knit, purl, purl. Knit. You're always just pulling the front yarn out of the way so that you can get to the back stitches. And that's really the key to it, is if you keep this one yarn aimed forward and the other yarn aimed back, and you should be able to maintain it pretty well. Because if they get tangled, you're going to have to drop down and it's like a whole thing. So try not to do that. No. Okay. Also, it feels like you're going really slowly, but you're doing 2 socks. Remember that. You're doing twice as much sock knitting as it looks like you're doing. Okay. So, the places you have to watch the most for getting tangled are the joins, the breaks. Because that's when things could get a little messy. So just make sure when you pick up to do the next needle that you check to make sure everything is the way it should be. And the way I like to do this is by looking kind of straight down the barrel of the the 2 socks in the hole there. See that little gap? That's where I look. And I make sure that my yarns are coming straight around that. Okay. Bump the camera again. So, knit, knit, purl, purl. Stop. Trying to keep it focused on the knitting, but it does keep trying to autofocus on something else. I'm gonna need some tail minders. And that's row 1. Yay. That's the hardest row. So once again, I'm going to show you. See the 2 lines? Never the twain shall meet. The 2 socks are completely separate and working their way up inside. I need to put a tail marker on these. So let me see what Thank you. More yarn. So yeah, just do that, you know, however many more rows you want to do. I'm probably going to do like 5 and then get sick of it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going and I'll come back when it's time to do the leg, because that's just straight stockinette stitch, which you can probably extrapolate from what we've been doing, but I'll show you how to do it. One by one rib. And when we get that out of the way, 1 by 1 rib. Oh, see, I messed up there. See that? I pulled the yarn. I didn't pull the yarn to the front before I knit this stitch, so I got it tangled because I was trying to be fancy. So now it's completely out of the way, and now I can continue. I just saw this light color and was like, oh my god, did I use the wrong yarn? No, it's just a color change. Oh goodness. Okay, 7 rows. That's what I do for my mini socks. So now we're going to check, although I put this cute little corgi on here, and we're going to take the outside sock and flip it up because we can. See? Here, we'll pull it through the middle. Two different socks, not attached, going in opposite directions. Now just make sure when you put it back right. So that's the ribbing. Knit 1, purl 1. Knit 1, purl 1. And now for the body, we're just going to do stocking knit stitch, which is what we've been doing for the knit stitches all along. We're just going to knit the outside, knit the inside, knit the outside, knit the inside. So this is the whole leg and what we're going to do on the foot as well. And yeah. There we go. So I'm going to do the rest of this leg. And then when it's time for the heel, I'll make part 2.